13th, 2021. Good evening, televiewers, and thanks for joining us for the first edition of our 6 p.m. English news this week over the Republican television. Let's begin with our headlines. The newly elected president of the Cameroon Football Federation, Samuel Eto'o, is currently being received in audience this Monday, December 13th, at the conference room of the Ministry of Sports and Physical Education by the Minister of Sports and Physical Education, Narcisse Moele Kombi. The humanitarian situation of Cameroonians who were forced to flee to the Republic of Chad after intertribal clashes in the far north region of Cameroon has been taken into consideration. Those were our headlines. We'll be right back. You're welcome back. As you heard in one of our headlines, the newly elected president of the Cameroon Football Federation, Samuel Eto'o, is currently being received in audience this Monday, December 13th, at the conference room of the Ministry of Sports and Physical Education. In his opening statement, Samuel Eto'o told the Sport and Physical Education Minister, Narcisse Moele Kombi, that he and his team are ready to work with him in order to bring back the grandeur of Cameroonian football. Our reporter Isaac Ngonkum is standing by for updates. Hello, Isaac.
Yes, good evening, Geraldine Nasse. Good evening to our televiewers, and welcome to the Ministry of Sports and Physical Education here in Yaoundé, where the Minister of Sports and Physical Education, Narcisse Moele Kombi, is currently receiving in audience the newly elected president of the Cameroon Football Federation, Samuel Eto'o, who was elected last Saturday, the 11th of December 2028. You understand that just 48 hours after his election, Mr. Samuel Eto'o and his team want to get to work immediately. Already, you know, this morning they were at the Chinga Powerhouse. He also visited the technical center in Oja with some members of his executive bureau, notably his 4 vice presidents who are also present here this evening to tell the Minister of Sports and Physical Education their intention, their readiness, their openness to work with this administration in order to ensure that Cameroon's football is best served. And that is what we can say for now. We are going to be bringing you more news and more updates as far as this audience is concerned. Reporting live from the Ministry of Sports and Physical Education here in Yaoundé, I remain your humble servant, Isaac Ngonko.
After the victory of Samuel Eto'o, our reporter Tabby Clarkson caught up with some men in the streets of Yaoundé who said they see Eto'o as a savior of Cameroon's football. Let's take a listen.
Cameroon is a democratic country and we respect Republican values. Well, Eto'o has come in, he made a lot of promises. I personally have supported Mbumbu Njoya, but we lost the election and we accepted the result. It shows our maturity when it comes to democracy. And I pray to all the promises he made, he should fulfill them. Even though next time we kick it out of the office. I say Eto'o, once more congratulations. You have won the election, but you have not won the battle. The war still continues. As for Mbumbu Njoya, I say that we'll try next time.
We are all enthusiastic and we go in for what for instantaneous things that can pay us for now. Eto'o has won and we want to equally accord him the respect that is so due. But I want to remind him that the politics of Cameroon is far above winning elections. He has won after all the gymnastics he has made. But I want to remember that people that surround him are Cameroonians. People are working with him are top Cameroonian politicians. He must watch out. Watch out again, and he must watch out because if he's not careful, he has a year to fall.
You can see my bike, number enough. I mean that I was favored with some of those things because I suffer a lot. I'm called Tamula Ernest Masco Papa Leon Routier. I've suffered a lot. I'm escorting lion with my bike. 2015, I was in Guinea with my bike. People are dying on the road. 2017, I was in Gabon. I bring the trophy here with my bike. You can ask, they can tell you. With my bike. See, you can look at the bike now. Now, you can see, I'm seeing a tourist coming. Premier division, they're going to laugh. Second division, even to fifth division, they're going to laugh now. Because it's too much. I went in Egypt with my pocket money. Ask Oshi Joshua, he will tell you. I went in Egypt with my pocket money. Because I'm an Anglophone, they don't give me anything. Ask Ngando Pickard, he was there in Egypt with me, with my pocket money. Even that I'm saying sure that he left that other day, he was with me in Egypt. So I'm seeing Samuel Eto'o, I'm going to come back in life as a mascot.
Still in connection to Samuel Eto'o's victory, our reporter Tabby Clarkson equally caught up with a football fan for him to tell us what he thinks about Samuel's victory and the way forward as regards Cameroon's football. Let's listen to him on the microphone of Samuel Bonis.
It is a satisfactory news. Satisfactory in the sense that a new face at the helm of the federation will come to the limelight. Another satisfaction is on the fact that it is a success story of a young, ambitious Cameroonian who has excelled in his field of speciality from the football pitch now to the role of management of the football aspect in general in the country. And because of the successes that he had in the field, we are assuming that he may equally be successful in management, even though personally I have some reservations until when things get into pragmatism or actually execution. So far, I think contrary to what people say, it is a motivation for youth to come in or it is a success for youth, I don't see it from that premise. Because if you look at it very well, the same challenges that goes into electoral systems in Cameroon, politicking and the growth of youths prevailed. Samuel Eto'o is just one of the few rare cases that can excel within that domain. First of all, he is well connected. You could see that if not because of the Samuel Eto'o in terms of the name, he would have had more challenges than he did. And even though he had those connections, he was still frightened along the line. He kept complaining throughout the process, even on the day of the election. He has been showing a lot of humility recently, different from what we know him to be. You know, with his age and the wealth he has, the fame he has, it made him at one point to get shoulders high, which is a normal thing with stardom and with wealth. But within this period of campaign, I saw a humble Samuel Eto'o. I saw him serving delegates with some snacks within the electoral. I saw him pretentiously eating soya by the roadside. I saw him trying to go to the lower levels and dressing in a certain way that showed that he was a man of the people.
We continue with our sports page where the Minister of Sports and Physical Education, Professor Narcisse Moele-Kombi, has visited the fan zone of the Africa Cup of Nations Total Energies Cameroon 2021 and some side earmarked to host delegations during the football jamboree. The delegation arrived in Garoua this Monday, December 13th, 2021, where the minister expressed satisfaction with the level of preparedness. We have details with Bertrand Tita.
The Minister of Sports and Physical Education, Professor Narcisse Moele-Kombi, visited the fan zone dedicated for animations during the Africa Cup of Nations Total Energy Cameroon 2021.
Responsabilité de concevoir et d'aménager la fan zone.
For stability in designing and moving forward the fan zone within the framework of the AFCON Total Energy 2021 in Cameroon, the Garoua site will be ready on D-Day and we will deliver on the 24th of December. This site includes the spaces that will allow sports fans and particularly football fans in Garoua to come and celebrate because the AFCON is a party together.
De venir fêter. Parce que la CAN, c'est une fête ensemble. Voilà ce que j'avais à dire.
The Garewa Fan Zone site to contain the maximum of cultural, sporting and animators who will be able to shine and attract attentions of the public during the great football event which charms passions. The Minister of Sports and Physical Education equally visits some hotels earmarked to host delegations from several countries.
En train de se métamorphoser au jour le jour. Nous avons, grâce à...
We are in the process of day by day. We thank the government for the infrastructure received, such as the hotels, the stadiums, the roads, and even through the urban community. We have rehabilitated some number of roads which today contributes to make the city very beautiful.
Mais également, nous nous évertuons à nettoyer, n'est-ce pas, toutes les rues pour qu'il y ait une bonne salubrité.
During this visit, the Minister of Sport will also present the trophy to the population of the North region on Tuesday, December 14th, 2021. The 2021 Africa Cup of Nations, which is the biggest football jamboree in the Africa continent, will run from January 9th to February 16th, 2022. Worthy of note is, this is the first time 24 countries will be taking part in the biggest continental football competition.
The indomitable handball lionesses of Cameroon are currently taking on Iran in their last outing at the ongoing 25th edition of the Senior Women's Handball World Cup in Spain. After suffering elimination from the main competition, the girls of Serge Kwebengo have now ensured they would not finish at the bottom of the final classification of the competition. We have details with Isaac Ngonkom.
Cameroon recorded her first win at the ongoing Senior Women's Handball World Cup in Spain last Saturday, 11th December 2021. It was the first time since the competition began on December 1 that the girls of coach Serge Christian Guebogo succeeded to win as they beat Uzbekistan by 42 goals to 23 at Eba. Engadzi Petroni emerged player of the match, having recorded 14 goals in a single match, becoming the first Cameroonian to achieve such a feat. This could be a strong moral booster to the indomitable handball lionesses, who are currently taking on Iran in their last group match in the President's Cup, the classification tournament organized by the International Handball Federation. After crashing out of the main competition on Tuesday, 7th December 2021, courtesy of 3 consecutive defeats to Russia, Serbia and Poland, Cameroon began fighting for better classification at the second-tier classification tournament known as the President's Cup on Thursday, December 9th. They were further humbled by fellow African rivals and current African champions Angola, 35 goals to 24. A second consecutive win over Iran this Monday will therefore go a long way to ameliorate Cameroon's final classification in this year's edition of the World Cup. One thing has, however, remained constant. Cameroon has now recorded 4 Player of the Match awards in 5 games, with Paula Cyril Ebanga and Ateba Engadzi Petroni being the latest to receive the distinction.
As you heard in one of our lead stories, the humanitarian situation of Cameroonians who were forced to flee to the Republic of Chad after intertribal clashes in the far north region of Cameroon has been taken into consideration. These Cameroonians who now live in Chad were given some humanitarian aid in the presence of the ambassador of Chad to Cameroon. We have more of this story with Bertrand Tita.
Following the intertribal clashes in the Logon and Shari division of the far north region of Cameroon, causing massive migration of Cameroonians to Chad, especially in the localities of Mandalia, Jamena, Unduma, Ngama, Kotoko, Gamal, Malfana, Liberia, Jazira, and Buga. On December 8, 2021, the Embassy of the Republic of Cameroon in Jamena undertook an assessment of the humanitarian situation of Cameroonians who had been forced to flee to the Republic of Chad after intertribal clashes in the North region.
Les réfugiés camerounais qui sont ici à la commune du premier arrondissement de la ville de N'Djamena
There are many Cameroonian refugees who are here in the town of Jamina. Today we have the Cameroonian ambassador who is with us, who really helped us. We encourage them to continue to provide help in other sites. We have several sites in the district municipality and in other neighboring municipalities. We thank the ambassador very much for what he did.
Et aussi à Mandalia. Nous remercions beaucoup l'ambassadeur de ce qu'il a fait.
The appraisement of the situation in the presence of the Chadian administrative authorities and representatives of the international humanitarian organizations, including the United Nations High Commission for Refugees and the World Food Programme, enabled the embassy to take prompt action towards providing consular assistance and emergency relief to the affected population.
La représentation diplomatique du Cameroun au Tchad.
The diplomatic representation of Cameroon in Chad, who at least shared this great solidarity with the Republic of Chad by welcoming, since already for some time Chad has been welcoming on its territory a large number of refugees who were able to cross the border to seek security.
Pour chercher la sécurité.
The first counselor at the embassy, Mr. Nchari Omar, delivered the package comprising core relief items on behalf of the ambassador, His Excellency Muhammad Sani Tanimu.
The first economic forum for young Africans has opened in Yaoundé this Monday, December 13, 2021. Placed under the patronage of the Ministry of Higher Education, the forum seeks to promote made in Africa products to go beyond the African continent. We have BrigadeAntiSardinard once more.
These are young African entrepreneurs meeting for the first time for a 3-day economic forum of young African entrepreneurs at the conference center in Yaoundé. Placed under the patronage of the Ministry of Higher Education, the first edition is holding under the theme Young African Entrepreneurs to Discover the Entrepreneurial Ecosystem and South-South Cooperation for the Private Sector, well as its opportunities for sustainable development in African countries. The objectives of this forum are enormous.
Objective is first of all to bring to limelight African entrepreneurs in general and Cameroonian entrepreneurs in particular. Africa, as we know, has a lot of great entrepreneurs, and at times they don't have the forum to showcase their know-how. And so this forum is the place by excellence for these African entrepreneurs to come and showcase what they know, their skills, the projects they have, and the vision they have in the domain of entrepreneurship.
The expectations after this first forum organized by these young entrepreneurs cannot be overemphasized.
We expect entrepreneurs or African entrepreneurs, their products to go across the continental shores, for their products to be very visible. I think if you've taken a good look around yourself, you've seen a lot of products, a lot of things made in Cameroon, which is very seducing, very attractive. That was actually not very visible by the people externally. But now, with this forum, it is a great exhibition, and so many people after this, we know what the African entrepreneur is capable of. It's the very first edition of this wonderful economic forum. One of the measures is to, as you know, is to bring to the limelight African entrepreneur, what they have in store, what they have to contribute to the advancement, the sustainable development of the African society. And then we are also working in partnership with the United Nations Office for South-South Cooperation, which will help the African entrepreneur in their various spectrum, their various domains, with coaches, with experts. We've learned from Mr. Moriba. We've gathered a lot of information, experiences as a successful entrepreneur.
The opening ceremony saw the exhibition of some of the made in Cameroon products, visit to the various stands. The 3-day forum will therefore comprise of roundtable discussions, animated conferences, orientation, among others.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the 6 p.m. English news over the Republican television. Let's now take you to the northwest region of the country, where the Council of Bello has voted a sum of 704 million CFA francs as the budget for the 2022 financial year. Amongst the projects to carry out are the construction of health facilities, provision of water, and the supply of electricity in some villages. We have details with our Northwest regional correspondent, Neba Jeru.
The Bello Council has as vision of making the community great again by setting water, health, and the extension of electricity as priority project for the 2022 financial year. This was revealed during the Council's 2022 budgetary session, which stands at 704 million francs CFA, voted by the councillors over the weekend in Bello.
As that were recruited last year, we are going to give them working equipment so that they can be productive and effective, and they deliver the health care services to the population. So we are talking about the health centers at Tumuku, Jichami, and Mejang. So we have budgeted 80 million francs only on equipment so that our population should be healthy and should be more productive. Farm to Market Road at Chuaku and the Farm to Market Road at Mbesa will all be seen major inputs in maintenance.
Education, which is one of the lucrative industries in the Northwest region, saw the Council of Bello invested huge sums of money during the 2021 financial year.
Construction of 4 major bridges that are linking the population to farming hubs. We donated farm tools to some key farmers, back to school, and various didactic materials. We also place health at the heart of our developmental goals.
Bello is located in Boyo Division of the Northwest region, and the council was ranked 19 out of the 34 councils for the execution of the public investment budget.
The 2021 Christmas season comes with very little new items in the market. Many business people and buyers have no choice but to deal with old-fashioned goods that are in abundance. Our reporter Ann Umeko visited some markets in the city of Yaoundé in a bid to know the exact situation. Her report.
Feliz Navidad, prospero año y feliz.
Christmas season is here. Beautiful Christmas trees, decorations and toys everywhere as preparations intensify. Some buyers go in for new items. For new items this year to decorate my Christmas tree, I have chosen white snowballs and glittering lights. This is what I prefer. The prices vary from 2,400 francs to 2,800 francs depending on the quality. To some business people, very insignificant new Christmas items are available in the markets.
This year we have not the new thing because there is not goods. Because the coronavirus and the crisis of nozzle, the goods cannot end. I sell the decoration, it can make 3 years. All that is the old-fashioned. That's not there is not the news. There's not the news here.
With less than 2 weeks to go to Christmas celebration, all hope is lost. Though with very little quantity of new Christmas items very visible in the markets, there is still hope that something can change in the days to come.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of our 6 p.m. English news over the Republican television. But before we leave you, a recap of our bullet point. The newly elected president of the Cameroon Football Federation, Samuel Eto'o, is currently being received in audience this Monday, December 13th, at the conference room of the Ministry of Sports and Physical Education by the Minister of Sports and Physical Education, Narcisse Moile Kombi. The humanitarian situation of Cameroonians who were forced to flee to the Republic of Chad after intertribal clashes in the far north region of the country has been taken into consideration. Desiree Trésor Bonnet will be with you when it's exactly 8 p.m. for news in the French language. But until then, do stay tuned in the company of interesting programs over the Republican television. Have a blessed evening.